what's up, scrappy peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill. Long time no see. I am up today with a craft room tour, which is one of my favourite things to film. I also love watching them on YouTube. So I thought, because we're moving in a couple of weeks, I realised that I hadn't shown you guys this craft room at this house. Now, if you're an OG Inklet, we have had many a craft room tour. Aaron and I live an average in rentals for, you know, anywhere from 6 months to 2, 3, I think 3 years is our longest there. So if you're interested in craft room tours, I have a plethora to go through. You'll find them on my channel or on my Let's Get Inky channel as well. So let's jump into it. Now, before we jump into it, actually, this is a judgment-free zone. I have started packing already, and some parts of the craft room are not how they usually are because of that. We bought our first house, which is so exciting, and I have a craft room in the new house as well, which is bigger than my little section here. If you've been around here for a while, or if you're one of my Patreon peeps, you would have seen the whole move to this house and organising and setting up this craft room. But I share it with my husband, who is typing away very eagerly on his computer, if you can hear him in the background, and there's just not enough space. It's very cramped, and so I'm really looking forward to the new craft room. And on our new vlog channel, Rad Ramblers, I am going to do a lot of like DIYs. I'm going to paint it because it's our first proper house, and I'm so excited. So if you want to follow along on a bit more of behind the scenes, and we're kind of making it like a nerd lifestyle vlog, with Lego and board games and cooking and cleaning and organising and just life stuff. I'll put the link for Rad Ramblers in the description below. But let's start with the desk, because I feel like that's where all the action happens. So here's a bit of an overall of my desk. It is a standing desk, but the tabletop is not attached to the actual desk legs because we lost the screws in the move 2 years ago. So it's just precariously placed there. I don't actually stand on it. I stand, you know what I mean, stand behind the desk, not on the desk. And so it's happy there, but in the new house I might think about getting a different desk eventually, but it's doing the job for now. So hubby and I have floating desks, I guess you would call them, in the middle of the room. And I have some new studio lights, which I'm still learning to like. They are from Amazon, and they're just USB pluggy-in ones. You can change the brightness, which I like, but something I don't like is the diffuser plate. I don't feel is very diffusing like my old ones. So yeah, still working on those. In the new house I will have a huge window in front of my filming section, which will have a lot of natural light. So while going through this craft room tour, I want to talk about organisation, things that have worked and are working, and maybe they can give you some ideas, and things that are not working, because there's a lot of things in here that just are not working. But I knew that we were moving, and so I couldn't be bothered to change things around to make them work, because I knew I'd just have to pack it in like a month or two time. And so my desk it's kind of stayed the same, but there are some sore spots on it that annoy me. This spot really annoys me. So this is, I usually develop a craft lunch here. It's just the side of my desk, and it's where I just plonk everything that, oh look, there's a Pokemon card here. My son's been here. I've got some of my printables. I've got some cutter parts that I used for a video, and I've just chucked them there. Camera case, pencil case. These stickers are for the kids. This is just my dumping ground, and I don't know how to prevent that. Yeah, I'm hoping in the new house to have some sort of shelf here that I can have stuff more organised on. We'll see how that goes. This is a magazine holder from Officeworks. Expensive for what it is. I think it was about 30 bucks. But it is really handy for my paper trimmer, which is just there in the back. And I put a lot of things that I just don't want to lose in here. So I've got some alphas that I'd really like to use up. Some Christmas stickers that I couldn't find my Christmas stuff. So I pop them in there. More Christmas things, a map from a zoo that we went to. I don't really need this stuff in as quick access as it is, except for the trimmer and the gold cardstock, so that's something that I think I want to change in the new house. Old jars are my favourite paint water thingamajiggies, paint water jars, and this one, as you can see, needs a clean. I absolutely love little mugs. So we've got Miss Strawberry Shortcake here that I got from a vintage shop. We've got a beautiful bunny that a subscriber sent me. This is I think it's meant to be a toothbrush holder for the bathroom, and that's where I put my most used pens. I probably need to go through and probably change a few of them that are in there, would have crept in through filming, and I've just shoved them back in there. But for now, I really like having this in easy reach. I should also apologise if you can hear cicadas in the background. I'm obviously Australian, hence the accent. And this year is an incredibly loud cicada year. It happens every 7 years or so. There's an influx of extra cicadas. And this year they have been so loud. So apologies, I can't really turn them off. So here I have this little container. Now, my cat, when Aaron's desk is down, my cat uses this as his pathway between our desks. So this doesn't always work. I sometimes have to move it. But again, it's something that I use it all the time, and I want it within hand's reach. Maybe at the new house I can have a shelf or something that I can put it on off the desk. But I have this little plastic container with some DIY embellishments that I've made in various Patreon videos, lots of tags and things like that. Then I have my bowl of wooden stars, and this is a little sneaky peek for something that will be available on my Inkie shop later this year. And then I have, this is a new little thing that I've started because I had a wooden box that had washi tape on my desk, but I exploded over the edges of it and it could not contain the washi tape that I wanted on hand anymore. So this is just an IKEA container, and it stacks really nicely. I wouldn't mind actually getting a couple of these to have on my desk. You know, I could have one that was just filled to the brim with DIY embellies, because you'll see they are hiding in other spots in the room as well. So I think maybe 2 more of these would be handy to get. On this side of my desk I have another pretty little teacup with my tiny punches, and I have found that I need a spot for my glue because otherwise I lose it, as you will know if you watch my videos. This doesn't need to be here. This is an OT light which I usually use. It's not plugged in at the moment. But I usually use when I go to retreats. If you're looking for a light to take with you, it's brilliant. I got this particular one, I think, from Costco, but they also sell them maybe at Spotlight for my Aussie peeps, and it's brilliant at casting light on your area. It would be great if you also did couch scrapping, or you scrapped at your dining table and you just needed that extra little bit of light for, you know, seeing things a bit easier. On this I have shoved a couple of rolls of double-sided tape in various widths and some nail polish, which I didn't know was in there. Like I said, it's a realistic tour here, peeps. I didn't really clean up before doing this, so there's little mysteries all around the room. So these just kind of sit on there. Do I like that? No. That's going to change in the new house, I think. I've also got these 2 little containers that I stole from the children's lunchbox drawer, which house my little stars and hearts, and this one has all of my punched out ones, so they just sit on my desk like that because I use them so often. In here I have my planner, which I use for planning which videos are up, and then this thing. This thing is amazing. It's not sponsored. I bought this probably almost 2 years ago now, and I got by an Instagram ad. They read me so well, the Instagram ads, and sometimes it really annoys me. I don't often buy things off there, but I couldn't resist this. It's called the Space Cube, and it's just a desk organizer. But what I really like is it has a lot of little sections, so if you're a scrappy person that has lots of little bits and pieces, I feel like it's very handy. And if you're short on desk space. Now up here I've got a charger for a camera, the camera that I'm filming on, and then a bunch more DIY embellishments are up here. They're all, you know, just shoved in little spots. I've also have some of my printables up here as well, and that needs to change. That needs to be in a better spot in the new place. This is a little IKEA container that if you're an OG you would know. I've loved these for years, and it fits perfectly in here, and whenever I have, this isn't meant to be in here, but you know, it is, and that's okay. Whenever I have scrap bits of paper, I immediately just cut a heart and pop it in here and then chuck out the scrap, because I know that I'll be better using that rather than having the scrap floating around. Now in these shelves, I do need to go through them. These mainly hold my printables, so I come out with a new collection every month. There's a bit of a sneak at some of them, and usually like notes to myself about what I want to film. Spare photos are shoved in here as well. Just all sorts of bits and bobs that need to be better organised. Down the bottom here, do we have another little container of DIY embellishments? Let's see. Yes, we do. More embellies, more printable labels that I've made. Just a bunch of little stuff that I feel like would be better off in one of those white containers, and yeah, instead of all of these different places. So this is really useful, but I feel like it's just gotten out of hand and I need to reorganize it. On the side here it has a couple of you know, storage boxes that would be perfect for pens if I didn't have a mug collection. I've got a little tripod, I keep my twine in one, and then my ATG sits in the back one, which is very handy. However, my cat likes to sit here and eat my ATG tape, so that's not so great. So that is a looking at the desktop. I should also add that I use one of these, is it like a music stand? I think that's a music stand, and then this is a clamp that Aaron got off Amazon, and that's what I attach my camera to and face it down. But that's a little looky at my desk. Now under my desk is a little bit of chaos. But let's have a short look at it. This is something that I want to reorganize at the new house. It may look like a jumbled mess, but it's quite organized. Those cicadas are so loud. I apologize. But I have my stencil folder where I have all of my stencils sorted by colour with different themes. I have a video on Patreon organising that from a few years ago if you're interested in knowing more. Then I have, this tub is my December daily stuff for my December daily album. This plastic baggie is my garden journal, and then I have larger stencils and a paper pad there. So it might look disorganised, but it's corralled. In the new place, what I'd like to do is get some of those plastic, you know, the plastic 13 by 13 inch big containers. I would love to get a couple more of those and transfer those into that, and I'll show you where I'll store them in a little bit. On the other side, under my desk, I have my heat gun always plugged in. I would like to have a hook so that I can hook it onto my desk. That would be handy, but it often just flangs on the floor. I started packing, and I put my current paper pads into one of these project boxes so that I can leave this one out to film and then pack the others into a box for the removalists to move. I store all of my paper pads in these boxes from Muji, and then on the back of the paper pad I just write a little tag and stick it on, which when they haven't had something pressed on them is really easy to see all of them. Down here I also just have a couple of large file folders with various things. So this one is filled with magazine images to do some art journaling pages with. I have one that's filled with rub-ons because I've been using them lately. This one is filled with vintage ephemera. That's the rub-ons one, and this is a photo that I want to scrapbook back when I had really long hair. So in the new house I would prefer that this was somewhere else, not under my desk, So we'll see what happens. I also realised I hadn't really given you an overview of the room. So behind my desk I have 2 Raskog trolleys, which we'll go into in a second, and then this massive 5x5 calyx unit, as well as this, which is another IKEA shelf, which I don't know what it's called, but I got this off Marketplace and they had put extra shelves on it. I think it comes with maybe 3 or 4 shelves and they bought extra ones. And I have not used it to its full potential here because it's shoved in the corner, but I'll tell you my plans for it going forward. So my plan for this IKEA shelf is to have it as my project shelf so that I can have my different albums that I'm working on each of the shelves, with these little project boxes filled with all of the kits that are required for that specific one. It's worked a little bit up the top, but I can't really get to down the bottom very easily. I'll show you. Here we go. Let's pan down. Whoop. Often my Raskog is in front of this, and let's be honest, there's also floor piles often. And so I need to better access this in the new house. But what I'm very guilty of is leaving my albums open on the floor. So when I'm filming, I'll take a page out, I'll work on it, and then I'm usually rushing to do school pickup and I won't put it back in the album until later. And so the album just stays open on the floor, and it makes it really hard when you don't have a lot of floor space. So my goal for the new house is to use it like I have up here, where I have my travel album and then I have my travel album kit, which is next to it. I have Archie's school album and his school kit is down here. They're not together, they should be, but like I said, there's bits of the room that need reorganizing and I just haven't bothered because I know that I'm packing it all up in a second. I also have my house album down here with a kit in it. And then this is a new way that I've chosen to store my Design A page protectors. I get asked a lot how I store, where I get my page protectors from, and I have been buying them from scrapbook.com when they have sales in large quantities, because the shipping to Australia is often a couple of $100s. Yep, the shipping is often a couple of $100. The worst I've paid, I think, was $290 shipping. But I got a lot of stuff and it has to come a far way. But these are great for storing page protectors in, because albums are getting harder and harder to get my hands on over here. I also have a massive art journal that I'm working in here. It's a real big one. And in here is my gouache set as well. So while we're over here, let's have a look at this Raskog. I have a video putting this together, I'm pretty sure, on Patreon, where I do 8 videos a month over there if you like this kind of stuff. Behind the scenes, I do a lot of like focus techniques and longer process videos that go for up to an hour and a half. So if that's what you like, you can check that out. But this is working really, really well at the moment. It is bursting a little bit at the seams, but it's working well. So at the front here, I have a little letter, like a metal organizer, and this is where I put all of my chipboard stickers and my puffy stickers. I also have a bunch of Pipsticks ones, which I used to subscribe to them, so I have a bunch of those here. I've put them separately because the sheets are so small, and I also feel like they don't match a lot of my other scrapbooking branded stickers, and so I do like to keep them separate, and I often use these for traveller's notebooks and different projects like that. At the front, I have sticker sheets that I really want to use up. So this one has 3 stickers left on it. So every time I do a video, I always look at this sticker sheet to see if I can make any of those work. So that's a tip if you find that you're overrun with half-used sticker sheets. Like this one has 1 left on it. Just pop them right at the front of your stash, and you have to look at them before you're allowed to go on with the rest of your project. I found that quite useful. At the back here, let me see if I can show you. At the back I have, I think this, it's either IKEA or Kmart. It's just a white tub, and I've got sticker books on one side and like journaling sets, and then on the other side I have all of my other sticker sheets. So there's 6x12s at the back, and then I mainly keep the other ones that are a bit smaller, except for this large section here, at the front. And then 12 by 12s get put at the back. At the front here, I have a little, really cute little basket from Kmart, and this has ephemera in it. Now this is exploding. This is too much. At the new house, I am hoping to have a place to put my ephemera drawers, because I bumped into them at some point and upended several drawers onto the floor, and it was devastating. And so I've been ignoring my ephemera drawers because I'm cranky at them, and so I just have packets in here, but this needs to be sorted again. On this next shelf, I have this shoebox, which is very old, from IKEA, which has a bunch of tiny words in it. This one has some chipboard pieces, and then just a bunch of sprinkly bits in another little basket. These are all like the not annoying little stickers, but the ones that have come in little kits that I haven't used up yet, and I just put them all in a basket here and often ignore them. Down the bottom, we speaketh not of this drawer. This is chaos. I think on the left are die cuts, like metal die cuts, and I'm going to sneeze. Oh, bless me. Sorry, peeps. On the left are dies. I've got a bit of craft foam, some inky printables, and cardstock frames down the bottom there. You can tell I don't use this very often. So I've just realised how long I've already been chatting and things for, so I think I might make this 2 parts, so that you're not sick of craft room by the end of it, and the second part of this video will go up next weekend. But like I said, there's a lot of things in this craft room that are working, and there's a lot of things that aren't, but I just haven't had it in me to reorganize them and restructure them, just because of the inevitable move. At the new house, I have a room. I probably have the space that I've got now plus an extra 50%. I also have so much more natural lighting, which is great, and a big wardrobe that has no doors. So I've got to work out some sort of shelving situation for in there. But in the next one, we will go over my mixed media, Raskog, the big Calyx behind me, and then my 2 Alex drawers as well. So stick around for that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. But thanks for joining me today, peeps, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!